Okay, everybody, welcome to the main event 120. So we have Harriet Moser with us today, and she's going to be showing us a lot of her work, and we're excited to have her with us. Like to cover the news first because get that out of the way. And I don't know about your thoughts, Sandu, but it seems like Midjourney Video is still dominating the news this week.
Yes.
Everybody continues to make new posts using it. There was a news item that Cdance One Pro is now going to be in Replicate, and I've got a post about that in the comment section of this event. I've also suggested three different videos for people to look at. Glenn Badkin did a really fun post about New York City, very similar to what Glenn did. Eric David did a post on train travel, which is another big thing in New York. Both of them are just delightful to watch, and the links for those are there, as well as Rachel Gaya's video that is going along with the background music of She Is AI song, which is quite wonderful. That's what I've got in the posts. I just got through saying before we started recording that because of the 4th of July weekend coming up, we're going to postpone the main event for next week. But coming up in July and just appeared on the screen at the right time is Bloom Meyer, who is going to be one of our guests in July. Don't have the date yet set on that. But another thing that we were talking about, Sandu and I, recently about all of the concerns about the problems that might be happening with AI in the future, potential thing, and kind of a warning about potential problems. Generally speaking, we talk about the positive things about AI here. There is some of the fathers of AI raising concerns and what could happen if this stuff got in the wrong hands. I think this is a subject that is something that we could talk about in a couple of episodes because it's a very involved possibilities of things. So Sandu and I are trying to figure out how we're going to do that, and we've got some suggestions of people that we might invite to talk about that as well. So
Yeah,
that
we were talking about the Geoffrey Hinton's AI warnings. Frankie posted about it, which is a cool discussion. Again, we take always the positive stuff, but we don't want to hide, the other side as well. It's good to have a discussion about it, right?
yeah, I think so too. And so we're going to, be figuring out together what we're going to be doing in that area. Anything else you want to add, Sandu, before we turn it over to Harriet?
Uh, in general, there are also other events all around. It was another one in New York. Eric and Meg Ball meet first time face to face, which is super cool as well. I noticed that, but every day it's something new. But overall, I think we can start with the event, and as we go, people feel free to ask questions. Keep it toward the end, and it's kind of that's the rules. But let's the presenters do their stuff, and if you have questions at the end, let's put it on the side, and hopefully we're gonna have all answered.
Okay, well, great. Well, Harriet, first of all, thank you for joining us from Switzerland
So
and
much for inviting me.
have been a big fan of the stuff that you do. As I said in the announcements about this thing, your quirky sense of humor. So I'd like you to I know you've put together a presentation that's going to cover much of the stuff that I would be asking you, which is basically to tell us something about yourself and your background and how you got involved with AI and what you're doing. So and about about your occupation, what you do when you're not playing with AI.
Sure. Shall I start sharing my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So can you all see my screen?
Yep. Excellent.
Okay. So we're at the main event. Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm really flattered that so many joined. That's really cool. So who am I? Originally, and that I think is an important information, I learned the profession of being a vet assistant. You might have noticed in my imagery, I like, you see pets, cats and dogs and all sorts of animals showing up. So that's part of my history. But I switched into marketing a while ago. In 2001 until 2018, I worked in different industries as a brand manager, marketing manager, communications manager for hearing aids, insurance, energy companies, all sorts of stuff. And in 2019, I had my own startup company together with my husband. We had software as a service. We were producing and selling cat trackers, GPS cat trackers. So that's also part of my background. I'm always interested in new technologies. I learned a lot there. Unfortunately, we couldn't scale it, so I gave that one up and started to work as a marketing manager in the coaching centrum in Olten, where I worked until the end of June now as a marketing and communication manager. And at the same time, I did a master's degree last year in AI and digital marketing. And I'm a little bit proud to say that I was the only person and the oldest person in the class who actually had the guts to tackle the topic AI. So that was a big thing. We're a bit behind in terms of AI in Europe. So for you, it might be seeming, okay, that's a bit old-fashioned, but here it was quite a big thing. Just interrupt me, Albert, if you have any questions.
No problem.
And then you asked me about how did I get into AI? Well, one was my master's degree. And I started using ChatGPT in January 2023. I mean, it hit the market in November 2022. But as I said before, we were a bit later here in Europe and Switzerland. And I started using it for text stuff. And then in June, I started my first experiments with images in Discord, but it wasn't user friendly. I didn't know how to use it properly, so I gave that up again. And then in view of my master's degree, I did a deep dive in research on generative AI. I learned a lot in theory, had expert interviews with large Swiss companies to see where they were standing, and then I started using AI myself in the practical level. And I developed an AI brand strategy framework for my master's degree. And then in November 24, I started actually pushing my personal brand on LinkedIn with my first images and using daily ref codes to, for the style references, and also did a few AI challenges. And since January, I'm starting to do AI animations and videos. I'm absolutely not a video person. It's completely new for me, but I think it's so much fun, but it's expensive. I mean, it eats up so many credits. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell. And next is coming up in July. I'm going to join Ross Simmons in his masterclass. I've been following him for like 1.5 years now. Big fan, and I hope I'm going to learn the nitty-gritty stuff there. Why AI is, for me, it was pretty clear as soon as I started using it. It's going to change the world. I mean, it already has. Many people haven't really realized yet how much it's going to change our lives. I mean, I'm not just talking about jobs, but I mean, it's everywhere. It's in the apps, in our smartphones, our watches. It's just everywhere, and it's going to be a revolution. And I didn't have any clue about it, but I just thought, okay, I want to be part of this. It's so exciting. And my personal goal was I want to be a creator. I don't want to just, watch and learn. I really want to dive into this and new territory. It's super exciting. There's a pioneer spirit going on. I feel on LinkedIn, there's so much knowledge sharing. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
And one of the things that we always tell people is if you don't get involved with working with AI at this point, you're just going to be left behind.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for me, at the moment, it's a big question. I quit my job. As of July, I don't have a job. So I don't exactly know where I'm going yet. And I feel Switzerland, there's a big question mark on how to use AI. I think the big companies are on it, but the smaller companies not yet. And Switzerland is a country of SMEs. I mean, that's who we are. So that's going to be a big thing coming. And I think mentally I'm probably a bit ahead. So let's see where that will take me. My approach is basically learning by doing, I mean, I think we all are doing that. And I mean, these apps and tools, they are evolving so fast, it's really hard to keep up. But just experiment, try different tools. And for me as a marketeer, of course, I'm not a software developer, and it's not really necessary with generative AI to have the IT skills. You can just, play around with that stuff, and I think that's fantastic. And learning process, for me, that's a big thing because I'm a sort of a perfectionist. I have extremely high quality standards. And with AI, you never exactly know what ends up, you give a prompt and you sort of, you can tell it where to go, but it's always a bit of a surprise element at the end. And that's really, for me, it's a big aha effect. And current state, yeah, I think that applies for all of us. It's really hard to keep up with what's going on everywhere. So yeah, still confused, but on a much higher level.
One of the things that we've been, seeing is that people are, trying to try everything, but it's just impossible because there's just so many things out there. And I end up saying that I learn about certain things just by watching what other people are doing, because I certainly don't have the time to be trying everything out there. I have gotten subscriptions to a number of things, but I've just decided if I'm going to increase my cost for Mid-Journey, then I'm going to go through and scrap some of the things that I'm not using regularly because some of them are just small. Some are like $5 or other ones though are $30 or whatever. But something I can't keep up with all of it, and there's no point in my keeping these different programs subscriptions if I'm not using them.
Totally agree. I mean, it's all out of my own pocket, so I have the exact same approach. I focus at the moment on Mid-Journey. I use FreePick a lot because it has different tools included. Sometimes I use Halo Minimax. I never know how to pronounce it. For if it's a cartoon image and for that it's interesting, but there's no way you can keep up with everything. Yeah, totally agree. And my philosophy is basically the Iron Man suit on how to use AI. I mean, it really amplifies what's there as a human, and that's my approach. The human aspect is really important. It's a very, very powerful machine, and we don't really know where it's heading. And I think that's where us humans with our critical thinking and consciousness and responsibility come in. And I think this image is just puts it together so much. I've been posting it several times. It's also in my master thesis. maybe about my visibility on LinkedIn a bit, because I've been very passive in the past. Before 2024, I had less than 300 followers. I used it as a business card, not much more, networking a bit with contacts I made in real life. And can you see my screen? Can you see the images?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we can see them.
Okay. And you see all 5 images?
Correct.
Okay. So it's a bit of my, I used avatars to visualize my development on LinkedIn. And first I was completely passive, and then I was sort of a very shy wallflower. I was just sharing news and commenting on it and didn't have many reactions also because of that. Then I had a bit of a frustration phase. I am full of self-doubts. I didn't know, thought nobody is interested in what I'm sharing. What am I doing here anyway? And then I started coming out, stepping out of my shadow and sharing personal stuff. And I'm an introvert by nature, so that was a big thing for me. And since then, I've been just, doing my thing, starting to post daily images, taking part at these Saturday monster challenges. These challenges, I think, are absolutely great to learn, and they always trigger something in my brain. And that, how could I use this, and how could I interpret this challenge for my visuals? And since January, it's pretty much taking off. I have like 2,200 followers to date. And I'm having so much fun doing it, and then I get invitations like today. It's really great and very satisfying. Yeah, I love the feedback, and people give me so much comments, and I really love it. I mean, Mark is here today, Diana, Leonard, I see, Sandru. A lot of familiar names today. I think that's really great. And these are the 4 C I use when using AI. Is curiosity. I mean, I'm very curious by nature. I also have, I call myself a lifelong learner. I always want to learn new stuff. Creativity. And I think AI absolutely boosts my creativity. And it also takes a bit of courage. I mean, you can't just, I don't know how to use this. You really just have to, learn by doing, get in there, fiddle around. I mean, we all know there's so many failed pictures. They're also fun, but you just need to go out there and do your thing. And one big thing I think is super important is the critical thinking. And I think for the elder generation, it's totally normal to, not believe everything you see. But I think for the Gen Z and the younger generations who are following, AI also has a huge risk, because you can't just believe everything that's being generated. And I think that's where the human aspect comes in again. And we really need to be careful how we use that also in education. I mean, AI has to be part of the education. You can't just tell the pupils not to use it.
It's pulling an MP4 video rather than an MOV file. So
Sorry?
And I'm sorry, this is all technical stuff.
No, I understand it. I understand.
Is somebody on the speaker? I think they may have turned it off now.
No, it's okay. Continue, Henrietta.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Would you try?
No, I think it was somebody speaking with their microphone on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, and that's basically me in a nutshell. And then probably I would start diving into what everybody's waiting for, go through the images and animations, unless any of you have any questions.
I think this is really where all of our thinking is. I think that it's really important to be figuring out how we fit into the whole subject area. But anyway, I think that I'm sorry, I'm muting somebody else. Anyway, the thing is that once we start doing stuff, what's so amazing is that we have this global community and we're all very supportive of one another.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that I think is really happening for you. I think people are just really impressed with the types of stuff that you're doing and just want to see more of it. So speaking of seeing more of it, let's see some of your stuff.
Let's go into it. So this was when the time changes, winter and summertime. I posted this image, which, yeah, and I just love word plays and visualizing stuff that goes on in my head. Okay, I lost an hour, where has it gone? And this is how I try to capture it in an image with this flying clock. This was another one. This is a video. And that was an inspiration from a post from Zach Soyo. I love his stuff. He creates a lot of stuff with food usually. And he had this post about a T-Rex, a dinosaur jumping out of a tea bag. And then I thought, oh, this is so great. I want to do something like that too. And because I work in education and I did a master's degree in education, I thought, well, why don't I use a diploma like qualified and use a koala jumping out of this box?
Very
Another
cool.
one, sorry?
Very cool.
Thank you. Another fun one was, I mean, I really also like just silly stuff. It doesn't always have to be a deeper meaning behind it. And this was from Ursula Asin. I also love her stuff. She's so creative. And this was a banana cat manifesto, and I just joined it. It makes no sense at all. And it's just combining bananas and cats and creating images out of it. And so I had so much fun with this. I just created different cat situation. One was a mental breakdown, and one was going bananas, sitting in the banana box, and yeah, just chilling there. So this was another one, a fun one, image fusions. This is an interesting guy I follow. He's also from Switzerland, Bernhard Stutthalter. And he's a design teacher. He has pupils, I think, teenage age, and he has a lot of interesting education snacks. And what I like about these people I'm following, they have a completely different mindset. Like his posts look very different than mine, but I think, but I learned so much from him because he has a design background. And then I see a post of his, and then I thought, oh wow, this is interesting, and how could I use this? And I usually use animals because I just love animals. And I thought, okay, a kiwi bird and a kiwi fruit and a pineapple and a hedgehog, they're both spiky, and a dragon fruit and a lizard, this kind of combination. And then in the prompt, you just fuse these two, and these crazy images were generated. Yeah, I had so much fun with this one.
Harriet, is it possible to switch to full screen so people can see better the images?
I'm sorry. Is this full screen?
Now you are. Now you're full screen.
Now you are, yes. And
I'm so sorry. Shall I go back?
No. It's good. It's good. They are super cool images, but it's good to see them on full screen so people can see like the birds with the kiwi and the animals over there. Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't aware that you didn't see that. Okay, so moving on. This was another fun one with Mark Meisters. He's joined today. He just tagged me in his post. So that was a fun one. Mark tagged me and Zach in his post because I think he likes my stuff too. And then I took that as an invitation. Okay, I'm going to do something with this Friskies can of cat food he generated in a different AI tool, and then did this video. Yeah, it's another fun one. This was something I didn't actively participate in, but I thought it was so such a great concept behind it. I just wanted to share it on my LinkedIn page. And I do try to bring a bit of diversity in my images, like older people, different nationalities, because I've noticed, especially with Midjourney, beautiful pictures, but they're all very young, very beautiful, and very white. So I try and bring a bit of, and I think that's also my responsibility as a human and as a female to bring that aspect into it, because I mean, it's only 30% women are actively using AI to date. And that, of course, you see in the training data. And the more women actually actively prompt against that, also with different nationalities, or Michelle Pontes did a great thing when she joined this challenge, actually, with minorities like handicapped people. And she actually won a special prize for doing that. So I'm not really into fashion, but I just, it was a beautiful theme. And I thought this is a great opportunity to bring a different nationality into the picture. This was Mother's Day. Just little ducklings, papercraft style, sweet and, cheerful, not much more, but it was very emotional for me too, because it was, my mother was diagnosed with lung cancer in December. So it was not a given that she was here on Mother's Day. So that was a special post for me. This is another thing. I don't do a lot of awareness things. I'm also, because I have a branding background, I'm always a bit careful about, bringing in brands like the WWF and Greenpeace. And so I try to keep it as neutral as possible. But sometimes I just want to convey a message that's important to me. And I mean, climate change and sustainability is a big topic now. And sometimes I'm just inspired by other posts and I think, okay, how could I interpret this for me, for myself, and bring it across with my visuals? This was another challenge, AI tag challenge from Chad Loafer. Where people are just, they're tagged and then they can contribute to a special theme that's given. And I just love this thread style. It's beautiful color. And yeah, so I just love the Midjourney brings out such special styles. It's just, I don't know how to articulate it. It's just, sometimes it's just a wow, and this was one of the wows. Yeah. This was another fun one where I just tried to visualize music directions as a person. So, and they all had a very serious look on their face. I tried to make them smile, but Midjourney would just not do that. So these were fun. I especially like the pop one, the girly. She looks very sassy.
Those are all cool.
Thank you. This was another one, another response to one of Zach Soyo's posts. He did something with Warcraft, and I thought, oh no, I want peace. So I thought, give peace a chance. And with word plays and vegetables, I just created these peace symbols with vegetables as a contradiction to his post. This was another fun one. That was a response to Georg Neumann. He's a German guy. He has an AI company, And he has Wednesday challenges with specific topics, and this one was upside down world. So I thought, why don't I put a fish person in a glass to see how, you know, change of perspective, how this fish feels in this glass. Yeah. Another Zach. Mark knows Zach also well, and I think he always follows our ping pongs. Zach had a post with fried eggs, animals and fried eggs, and I don't really care so much about food illustrations, so I tried to translate it. Instead of fried eggs, I daisified everything, so I used different animals and just put a daisy on them. This was another one, another word play, dandelion. And yeah, just pensive posts, time flies, just a dandelion in the wind. And I just like the combination of a dandelion plant. It's a fusion image of an actual lion. This was another beautiful thread from Michelle Pontes. She's also a very interesting person. She's very into bringing the human side out of in the AI picture. Absolutely worth following, and she shares threads on a daily basis, and sometimes they inspire me to post something special with them.
I got a question on this. Are you using a particular sref with this, or did you just prompt it?
This is a special sref code, sref code, yeah, from Michelle Pontes. And then I prompted it into looking it like that, yeah.
They're very great. I like the brightness of them.
Thank you. This was another sweet one. A small rhyme, just a quick bath, he said. Thought I'd nudge his head instead. This was another challenge by Flame Rosario. She has weekly AI challenges. And the topic here was elephant of surprise. And I thought, okay, elephant and mouse, and a most unusual match. This was a fun one. I don't know, it suddenly sprang to mind.
Did you ever see my cows in the done in 3D for a client where I had the cows walking across actually Madison Avenue instead of but with the same look and everything.
No, I'll have to check that one out. Yeah. No, I just thought, okay, what if actual beetles would, you know, cross the Abbey Road? And then it was just so fun. This was another sweet one. They're usually very short because I'm not really an AI video storyteller. And as mentioned before, these videos, they eat up credits like crazy. Sometimes I'm just out of credits, so I can't do more. And here, this one, I was inspired by a post on Instagram where an actual dog was, you know, going from one statue to another statue, greeting them. And I went, what if this statue actually came alive? Little things like that. And Mark actually always comments on them, and it triggers also interesting questions. This was another awareness post. Wordplay, don't let plastic seal my fate. And I thought, well, yeah, why don't I use, you know, this action figure topic that was going viral, but I didn't just want to do another action figure image, but you know, convey a message that means something. And it was about the World Environment Day on June 5. This is another cute little. That was about logging off and a little goodbye. This was another AI tag, yellow meets purple. And I just love the color combination. It's really beautiful. And the original post, I can't remember her name. And she uses these two colors in her brand for her business. And then somebody made an AI tag post of it. And then you sort of, you're being handed on this tag. And then you interpret it. You do something new with that topic. There's another cute little and it was super rainy that day, so I thought I want to do something with rain. And Ross Simmons, I mentioned earlier, he posted something about glass globes with different elements, and I thought, I really want to use it, but very simple. I like clean and simple and minimalistic images. This was one of Ursula Asin's posts. Flower power was the topic, and there I also tried to bring in a bit more diversity again, and I just love the hair and the roses. I thought that looked so great. This is me waiting for cherry season. The cherries are ripe now in Switzerland, and I just thought, it would be cute to have a little mouse sitting on a cherry waiting for cherries. And my mother's English, so tea is always part of my life. I'm Swinglish. I guess that's also where my sense of humor comes from. Yeah. This is another weekly challenge from Flame Rosario. Can you guess the idiom? Or idiom? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Kicking the bucket.
Kicking the bucket, exactly. And this goose just has such an attitude.
I like this series.
This one I had to do in ChatGPT because Midjourney just wasn't up to the job. I didn't manage to prompt it in that direction. This was another beautiful SRF style from Gizem Aktak. She shares beautiful codes, and I just love the texture of this one. I actually did 2 posts with this code. Nature upholstered. This was also, I don't know, I just suddenly thought, what if I, make these beautiful big creatures, wild creatures, and wrap them in lace, because it's such a contradiction, these powerful animals with this intricate, delicate lace, and I think they look really great. This was another very cool ref style. I posted this for World Crocodile Day. And I just like to combine messages. I don't usually post just for the sake of posting. I like to combine it with something to say. Sometimes it's just silly, and sometimes I want to actually raise awareness. Yeah, and that's it. This one I shared. This is another very nice SRF code. This post I shared when Midjourney video came out. I was one of the first to see, it's out now, and this was one of my first video animations I did with video in Midjourney. And I think it's really cool So before that, before Midjourney video, I always use Kling was my favorite. It still is one of my favorite, but Midjourney video is really cool, I must say. Been playing around with it a lot.
This is terrific. The stuff is just beautiful, and I love the humor. And I would think Glenn Batkin would appreciate the number of things you've done where you're going for certain causes. If you could stop your sharing, we can open it up to questions and comments from people.
Yeah, I will do that. Sure.
Okay, great. Anybody who wants to make a comment, or anybody who wants to ask a question, please feel
People
free.
have hands up, Miguel. So
What's that?
somebody have a hand.
Oh,
so
Glenn does.
Glenn, yeah.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Hi, Harriet. And I agree. I know Big Al just mentioned me before. I do have an appreciation for the causes that you do, and do have an appreciation for animal welfare, and specifically. My question more is, I love the way your mind works, and it seems like it's naturally heading towards like children, sophisticated children's work and children's books and stories that maybe have larger messages that are not just silly fun, but are a little deeper. But your aesthetic is so wonderfully childlike, and I just wonder if you're ever thinking, in going to it, whether it's a book or a short film. I know you mentioned that you're starting out with film, like most people are, but certainly books would seem like it'd be so easy for you to transition, your wonderful style into a meaningful story for a child.
Well, thank you very much, Glenn. That's lovely to hear. I have actually thought about that. I'd love to do a small video for one. I have to get a bit into more because I love storytelling. Actually, I don't know if you noticed that with my posts. I really like storytelling and wordplays and that kind of stuff. I actually have thought about it, both actually, book and video, but I haven't got around to do it yet. But now I have the time. I don't know exactly where my career is going to take me, so definitely on my to-do list. Yeah.
Well, join us at Azimuth 3. We want to launch it on November 20th, so we can talk about that separate, obviously.
Yeah, explain that a little bit more, Sandhu, about the book.
Yeah, so kind of I intended to do it at the end, but we launched last year the first book of Azimuth, which is Azimuth being a rabbit astronaut, which is exploring, but it's at the end it's actually a AICC, artificial intelligent children companion, not content creator. It's a children companion. And he's got various adventures. Basically, we start with 10 authors, friends from LinkedIn here. Some of them, they are in a group here as well. And we came with the first book on June 1st, 2024. And we just launched the second one on June 1st, 2025, which is Azimuth book number 2. Again, 10 authors. Some of them, they were also on the first book. And we create this book for fun, but also to have kids kind of getting with AI, don't be scared about AI, embrace it, and explore your imagination. So the first book was on adventures, and it was like an alphabet book. So every author picked a letter, actually more than a letter, and the number. And we create our own stories. In the second book, we kind of follow the format. Again, each author have like 2 letters, 3 letters, and the story with a number. But this time it was related to the profession. So everybody was kind of thinking, kids, what they want to be. Some of them, they want to be astronauts, detectives, and so on. So yeah, we launched the book. Big Al, I think I'll post the link here in the comments. But for book number 3, we want this year also to launch in the other International Children's Day. So the 1st of June typically is celebrated for countries which they were on the eastern side. So basically, from Asia and Russia and kind of those kind of countries, but the western side, the United States and kind of the American continent, is celebrated on 20th of November. So we're gonna launch also one on 20th of November. Again, continue with the adventures of Azimuth, but we are open for new authors to join us. This time it's gonna be more like a comic book style. And yesterday at my event on Thursday, actually, we discussed what we like to do with Azimuth 3 book. So, Harriet, obviously, I will invite you, and we'll have more discussions about it.
Mention how many pages are in the second book, Sandu.
So the second book was quite big. It was like 376 pages.
Wow.
Yeah, each author explained quite widely. Very beautiful images, but also very beautiful stories. And also toward the end, we put sketches so kids can color the book as well. So we made a mix between black and white images and also color images. And as I said, we have it very interactive. We put also quizzes. We make it fun. Each letter have an adventure, and they tie together between the first book and the second book. And on the third book, basically, all those professions, they come together and they explore the space. That's what we are trying to do right now, kind of developing the full story, how we want to tie it together. But as we said, we want to be a learning tool. Each story is gonna say, or how you can use AI, what's the best way to use prompt, or also technical stuff, maybe how to build a drone or stuff like that. So we want to make it super fun for kids and also boost up the creativity.
That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, love to join.
Yes, no, you're welcome.
Our good friend Rachel Gaya has joined us early in the morning from Australia. And Rachel, I would invite you to watch this video because you missed her presentation. But I would also urge you to talk to Harriet about being in your magazine. She's got wonderful images.
Apologies for being late, and I really wanted to be here for you to see your presentation, Harriet. Yeah, 2 a.m. does not work.
Oh, wow.
It's a real struggle for me. I get 3 a.m. I'm perfect, but 2 a.m. is really difficult. But yeah, the change in the time zone had mucked me up. But yes, I definitely will watch the recording, and I'm sure it was absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. Well, thanks for joining at this terrible time.
I absolutely love your art.
Thank you so much.
And Big Al, you're looking very handsome today.
Well, I look handsome every day, Rachel. Somebody tells me I look good in this color. I always say, yeah, I look good in any color. Any other questions or comments, people? We've got a few minutes left, and please feel free to speak up.
Beautiful work, Harriet. Really, really beautiful. I think one thing I take away from your work is I love its cleanness and simplicity. There's a lot of stuff that, sometimes people feel like they have to overdo things, and you just have the perfect balance of how much to do and how much not to do. And I just love the overall clean aesthetic to your work.
Thank you very much.
I should mention, Harriet, if you're not familiar with them, both Glenn and Eric are creative directors in New York City and agencies in New York, and two of my favorite creatives in the city.
I did not know that. Thank you. Good to know.
Thank you, Al.
Appreciate that.
Well, it's true. I am. You probably didn't catch it when you came on here, but I have posted your train video in the comment section of this, and also Glenn's video about what happens in the streets of New York. So just fun stuff, and I just always appreciate what you guys do.
Talking about mid-journey videos, like everybody realized the credits run extremely fast, which is very true. But did you guys notice actually mid-journey handles very well the emotions? I did a bunch of tests on that side, but I'm just curious, Harriet, did you try to use emotions in your prompts with mid-journey?
A little bit. When fiddling, I was playing around with the cover of today's event. I posted two animated posts of the main event, and with myself in omni-reference, and some of them went way off emotionally. Like I was like all over the place. This is not me at all.
Harriet, could you share your screen and show the kitten one?
The kitten?
The kitten post you're talking about for this, the one with the 3 kittens.
Okay, yeah, just a second. To get out.
That's one that has some neat emotion in it, Sandu.
Yeah, as a funny story, on Azimuth 2, Ren came with a combination with a white cat in a helicopter, which has got shoes like bananas. And also, Margarita is here too. She's a fan of rabbits and bananas. Actually, one of the characters is part of the banana army. Margarita, maybe we can talk about that a little bit too.
Hi. Yeah, great presentation, Harriet. Sorry, I got here on work, so I came late to the meeting, but I'm going to watch the recording to see that I don't miss anything. But from what I've seen, I've loved the images you've made about with the plastic. Don't seal my future. That was when I entered in the meeting. I saw that and I said, okay, this is great. I have to go and watch the recording from the beginning. Yeah, and like Sandu was talking, I was in the first book last year. This year I was 2. My stories are about, because I have bunnies. Everyone knows me because of my bunnies. And so doing stories about them was like a natural thing. And this year I done an homage to the bunnies I've lost. The story continues with Leia, Luke, that I still have, Wookie, that is a warrior from the Bananas army. So he welcomed Leia in the moon, and they are all dressing warrior suits made from bananas. And then we have another bunny that is my first bunny, that is the baby bunny, and he's like the nutrition. His profession is like he's a nutrition. So he teach everyone how to grow vegetables and fruits in the moon. And so they grow bananas, and then they eat, and they wear banana suits.
Sounds like fun.
Harriet, Margarita is a little closer to you. She's in Portugal. So
yeah. Yeah, Harriet is in England, right?
I'm in Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland. Oh, okay.
But I posted something on, there's a channel called AI Portugal. I'm not sure if are you part of it?
No, I'm part of the SIA. It's the Portuguese community, artificial community in Portugal. We are creating it, and we are doing a lot of training to entrepreneurs, schools, and well, everyone wants to learn more about this.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harriet, are you able to share your screen and show that little video?
I think I got the right one. Can you see?
Not yet. Hit the share down on the bottom.
I'm trying.
There we go. Okay.
So that was it.
That's great. Unfortunately, on Zoom, we tend to get these things stepped rather than a nice flow of the video. But that was a lot of fun. I really think everybody enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that was fun to make. So I was trying to animate the text. Actually, I tried to make the letters transform into little bunnies and cats and dogs, and this one didn't end up like I anticipated, but it was so cute I decided to post it anyway. Yeah,
that's great. Well, we've filled an hour very nicely here with all of this, and delighted to have everybody here, and particularly Harriet. I really appreciate you joining us today and sharing everything. And as I've mentioned, this is being recorded, and after I do some editing of it, it will be posted in the comments section of today's event, and it'll be on YouTube. Sandu, anything you want to say before we finish up?
Yeah, a few things. So as we mentioned, next week we'll postpone it. So the next event will be in 2 weeks. Also, as we mentioned, Miguel, I think we're gonna talk about the dark side, as I'm calling it, like in Star Wars, dark side of AI. Maybe in 2 weeks on July 11th. But as we said, this event was delightful. It's super cool. Love the images, obviously. Love the vibe. I think you have your style, and the marketing side. If you're looking for collaborations, and on the job side, there is a strong community in AI. Definitely, you can be part of various events or projects. So that is also helpful as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's super exciting what's happening, and the vibe of the AI community, I think is so inspiring, and the knowledge sharing is I'm so grateful for it. I've learned so much just following you guys and interacting with you guys, and a big thank you on my behalf for that. Yeah.
Okay, and Bloom, just reminding you, pick out a Friday in July that you'd like to be on with us, and we'll set it up. Again, thank you, everybody. And Rachel, I have said that you are always have an open invitation for being on the main event. So you've got so many nice things happening, big things happening with She Is AI. I know you have another magazine coming up. I don't know if you want to wait that long, but anytime you would like to be on, just let us know, and we will get it set up. That's the word for today. And again, I thank everybody for being with us. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Happy July 4th, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.